Welcome to this new how-to. In this how-to we're going to look at how you can find information which you can use for your approach. I'm using opennav.com, which is a website which contains a lot of information. So what I'm planning to do is I'm going to find some information about the approaches for Rotterdam Airport. So I'll type in the ICAO code and click the link. And there you will find a lot of charts, as you can see. And the charts we're looking for in this case is for the approach. And you can see that there are charts available both for runway 06 and 24, ILS DME, and for 4 DME. So in this case, I would say it's not a nice list, but for other airports it is a nice list. Not sure why it's displayed like this for Rotterdam Airport. So let's select the runway 24 ILS DME, and then it will open this page. So I will zoom in a bit so you can read it a little bit better. And here you can find a lot of information on. So the first thing you can see on the top, it's the ILS category. In this case it's ILS category number 1. And based on the available equipment, if I'm correct, it can get up to a maximum of category number 3, which we'll find out sometimes in your instruments. In your aircraft you will see, okay, hey, this is category 1, 2 or 3. So what does this map tell us? Well, in this case this is the range of 10 miles, and we see a lot of, I would say, information, a lot of nice pictures here and here. But what do they tell us? Well, let's start to find the airport. And the airport is located here, which is Rotterdam Airport, right? It contains also some information, and if I would scroll down, you would see the frequencies for the approach, for the tower, for the guard, for general emergency, for the RTM VOR, and then for the localizer and DME. So all these pictures around Rotterdam Airport are things which you need to be careful about, right? In some cases you will see, here's a gas compressor station, so it should be avoided to fly lower than 1,000 feet. And these are all high buildings or, for example, windmills or industry in this part where you need to look out for. So let's assume that we're approaching Rotterdam Airport and we've been assigned runway 24. Then it depends from which direction you're coming from, right? If we're coming from Maasels, which is displayed here, then we will fly with a direction of 27 degrees. And from Maasels until the initial point, or to the next waypoint, sorry, that's Rotterdam Airport, the RTM, that's 34.5 miles. After this, you need to change your direction to 86 degrees and fly for 9.1 miles until you arrive at this waypoint. That's Echo Hotel 258. After you've did that, you can set course to Rotterdam Airport or straight to the RTM VOR. And then after that, make a nice turn to the left and fly to Echo Hotel 253, and that's 267 degrees. Once you arrived at this one, you will be able to fly straight to the runway. That's one, I would say, solution. There's another solution, or I would say option I should say, and that's by arriving via this point. And here you can see the letter IAF, so India Alpha Foxtrot, and that stands for Initial Approach Fix. So if we would arrive from, I would say, this corner, then we can fly to the ROT navigation point, and here you can see the information about it. Then fly with 51 degrees for 8.2 miles to Echo Hotel 258, then to Romeo Tango Mike, then make the same turn, and then you can go straight into the runway. So what is the other information we can collect from this chart? Well, you can see the 2000 here, and that refers to the altitude which you need to fly, and it's the minimum altitude. I read some documentation about it on several websites, and it looks like that if you fly a little bit above it, or even 500 miles above it, it's not a big issue. But of course, the most important thing is that since you want to capture the glide scope here, you need to make sure that you're flying on the correct altitude so the glide scope can be captured, and then eventually can, I would say, make sure that you're landing successfully on runway 24. Let me go to another one, which is runway 06, same airport. And you will see some commonalities. For example, you can see muscles, but you can see that in this case we're not arriving via, I would say, the northeast part, but we're flying via the southwest part. Here's also again a lot of information about all the things which you need to avoid, but also here's the mass endpoint, and in this case we're flying 89 degrees for 11.4 miles. After we hit the next waypoint, then we continue our flight to the following waypoint, Echo Hotel 250, then Echo Hotel 257, and then eventually we will land at the runway. The values displayed below the waypoints, those are the, I would say, is the number of miles from that waypoint to the next one. So keep that in mind, right? So from here to RTM, it's 8.4, then 6.2. So as soon as you arrive at Echo Hotel 257, you're 6.2 miles from the RTM, which is here. Then there are these nice circles, and these nice circles are used for procedures. So in some cases, if it's too busy at the airport, right, you need to follow a strict procedure and you need to fly this pattern until you're allowed to use the initial approach fix waypoint, right? So for example, if you fly here around, then it's instructed to use CD, then you're gonna fly 27 degrees, do a turn, then fly to the initial approach fix, then fly for 12.9 miles in a course of 261 degrees. Then you're arriving at the next waypoint, but here you need to fly 291 degrees, make a turn, then go to Echo Hotel 251, and then you can continue the same flight. If you're assigned AB, then you need to fly 45 degrees, do the same thing, and then you need to select the inner circle. Eventually, you're still bypassing Echo Hotel 251. So this is what you can use, or this, what we just discussed, are all STAR routes, so terminal approach routes. So these are officially routes which have been predefined and contain a lot of information which you can use as a pilot to make sure that you can, I would say, select the correct approach and then make a successful landing on the runway which is being assigned to you. So here ends this video. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, then consider to use the like button. If you've got questions or comments, then post them below the video. And if you want to stay up to date about new videos I'm posting, then consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.